Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, oh my god, OMG. We are finished. Well, not really. We got one bag left, and that's bag 11. What's that? Bag 11? Well, you know the saying when one door closes, another door makes lemonade. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to finish the Tranquil Garden. Ooh. And up until now, if you've been following along, we have constructed various elements and discussed philosophies surrounding what goes into the design and the experience of a tranquil garden. And this Lego set is probably one of my favorite builds, and I've built a lot. So, without further ado, let's do this. Let's make some room. Let's make some room while we welcome you. Welcome you. You. Yes, you. Thank you for finding the channel and joining me today. I am so glad that you are here today. And what we're going to do is finish a Lego set called Tranquil Garden. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you are a returning visitor, welcome back. The neat thing about Lego that I find is like brick therapy. And you can apply all kinds of philosophies to building for finding calm and peace and tranquility and yada, yada, yada. But I'm also a certified safety specialist. So a lot of the correlation, ooh, fancy word, between what we build as constructors in a safety program can also apply to building Lego. We're going to talk about that a little bit in the summary. We are joined today by our two minifig friends, minifig master, designer, and minifig Mike. So this one from a Ninjago set, this one from my own creation. So let's see. We have two cherry blossom trees, and today we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 more to finish the set. Then we'll do an overview, a review, we'll do a 360 spin. And where should we begin? Let's build a structure of a, I guess you'd call it a pagoda? Yeah, let's do that. All right, so welcome friends. Thank you for being here. My name is Todd. I am a certified safety specialist for workplace compliance and amateur Lego builder. Something I like to do in the off time, spare time, side time. Where are we at? So the agenda for today, I'm going to review all the philosophies that we've talked about during this build. And then we'll also complete bag 11, which are 4 additions. And then some final thoughts, as well as a teaser for the next build project. So stay tuned to the end for a teaser on the next build. All right, so what we have here are extra parts. We don't need those. If you would like, I invite you to like, you know, that button that says like, click that. Click the subscribe button. Click the share button if you know others who might be interested in brick therapy and sharing that with me. Or you're also welcome to comment. I certainly appreciate those folks who share their thoughts, their ideas, constructive critique. And we're all in this together, saving the world, one accident at a time. And you can help. You know, there's these algorithms that YouTube has, so you can help by clicking those various things. So let's build, all right? So the trees that are featured in this set, we already pointed out the cherry blossoms. We're going to do a bamboo tree, bush, plant. There'll be a pine tree, and then what I believe is a, and again, I apologize if my pronunciation is not correct, a Hinoki cypress. I thought it might have been like a Japanese maple, but according to the Brothers Brick, it could be, and it doesn't specifically state in the instructions, it could be a Hinoki cypress. I hope you're having a good day today. It's a very interesting week. A lot of busy projects that took me away from what I wanted to do and moved me to what I had to do. Isn't it interesting how things like that happen? We may start the day with our own agenda, but then over the course of the morning, leading into midday, the afternoon, or you're about ready to wrap things up, and along that journey, something comes up where you were unexpected, unprepared. Now, if you're watching this in the summer of 2025, it's hot. Hot outside. And for people in the workplace that have to work outside, that their jobs require them to be in the elements, it can be quite stress-inducing with the heat. So earlier this year, I sent out a note to all my clients. Hey, it's March. I know it's too early to think about summer, but now's a good time to plan. A couple of folks did respond saying, oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. I'm going to go ahead and order my blah 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 blah. I don't need it delivered until, May or June. But they were smart. They planned ahead. Then you get other folks that wait until the heat index is over 80. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, we need to order this stuff so our workers don't pass out in the heat. Well, where were you months ago when I could order and provide early bird seasonal discounts? Now, if this sounds like a rant, yeah, it is. So anyway, that was kind of my week, dealing with folks who did not prepare, did not plan, and yet expected things to happen on their terms. Now, if you can see these tiered levels, this is a type of pagoda that's featured in a meditation or healing or Zen type of garden. And let's see, we have finished our little pagoda. So we're going to set that aside over here. And then we'll assemble all the interesting things at the end. What's next? How about a pine tree? That works for me. Yes, I do save the dip containers because they make great little sorting bins. Call me frugal. Call me cheap. I don't care. Just call me. Call me. Anyway, so pine trees are an element in a garden that also, as part of one of our earlier philosophies, show seasonal change. Because many times evergreen trees do not change their colors. They stay green all year round. So if you are in an environment that experiences climate seasonal change, with winter and spring and summer and fall, then you can see how the constant of the green throughout the year is part of the overall look and feel in a tranquil garden. I use those terms intermittently. Healing, tranquil, zen. It's all in the same overall, experience that the designer wishes to evoke within the participant. Okay, and some of these newer pieces, for instance, as you'll see on the pine tree, this is not a piece from 20 years ago. This is relatively new, and it can be positioned with the greenery going up, or in this case, the greenery going down. And a layered look is pretty cool. What'd you have for breakfast this morning? Was it delicious? Did you put some music on, dance around like nobody was watching? That's perfectly fine. Yes, I do that too. I was enjoying some of the classic 80s rock or nostalgia as I was making my omelet, and it was very delicious. Added a little chorizo, some cheese, flipped it over, placed a tortilla on it. Delicious. And there's our base. So, what's next? Let's build the trunk. There we go. Trunk. We're going to build layers. Is it asking me to build 7 of these? Why, yes. Yes, it is, Todd. So as I've been researching through this series, I find that also very interesting. I'm not a speed builder. There are some folks that build a set quickly. I like to take my time. It's relaxing, clicking parts and pieces together. I've always liked making models. But the research, what am I building? What went into it? What was the designer thinking when they were coming up with this creation? It could be a castle or a pirate ship or a race car or a rocket ship. A building, tranquil garden. Okay, so there's one. The philosophies surrounding a tranquil garden have also been interesting. And you have all these natural elements. That's a big part in the design, is incorporating nature. So these natural elements, these pieces, they're all placed with purpose. Could be a water feature, could be rocks, pathways, bridges. There could be lanterns. Various plants. and of course the different structures. And they all come together to create a serene environment. Now I had to find the right word, serene. Tranquil is the name for the set, but a tranquil is another good word, a good descriptive word. But serene, if you think about that, if you're looking to nature to find healing, a serene space that's quiet, distance from the noise, the hustle, and the bustle. That serenity affords the experience, the person using the experience of that calmness. Serenity reminds me of Firefly. So again, going back to that sense of serene, creating an environment that is serene. Peaceful, calming. I was going to add a philosophy on music. However, there was so much information that took my attention span and just kind of ground it to a pause. And I thought, no, this is way too much information. And people that listen to this channel, they don't want a talking head. They come here to either participate along with their own build, or maybe they're going through their morning routine and just looking for someone to chat with them, or maybe trying to find a creative way to fall asleep. And rarely, I mean, this will be very interesting. Rarely will somebody come here actually looking for practical workplace safety advice or ideas. But that's my career. I chose that 30 years ago to help people. And through the experience, through the travels, and working with companies all across the country, and the stories. Well, what's a creative way of sharing those with folks? Hence, are you safe too? Not Rusafi. The name of the channel is pronounced Are You Safe Too? Rusafi is the Mayan god of fertility. I'm sure somebody else somewhere will have that unique channel. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more of our layered pine tree will make 7. And then we can start fitting these together. There we go. Amazing. So we built these right side up, but we're going to turn them over upside down and layer them into this tree trunk. I don't think there's a perfect way of putting these together, but they do fit a little bit into each other. last but not least is our tree topper. Oh no! Timber! God, we had a bunch of pine trees in the front of our house. Growing up as a kid, back in the old neighborhood. And it was really cool when winter came to see the snow on the ground. And some of the snow would land on the leaves, but you know, they were evergreens. Okay, pagoda, done. Pine tree, done. Scratch the head, done. Take a sip of water. All right, next up. Ooh. This one is bamboo. Wicca bamboo. Wicca bamboo. All right, there's a lot of teeny tiny small pieces. Green, and of course I have a green artist mat. This will be interesting. As we go through this, like we did with the others, we'll sort these out by type and color, as well as review the different philosophies that have been shared. And you are welcome to go back to different episodes and see for yourself. See for yourself. Listen. And maybe come away with something you can share with your team. All right. Okay, so in no particular order, some of the different philosophies that we've covered throughout the series here. And they apply not only to the design and the experience of a tranquil garden, healing, meditation, Zen, Japanese, however you want to call it, a garden. They also apply to our daily life. So the correlation, spoiler alert, fancy word coming up, correlation between the two mirrors one to the other. And one of those philosophies was create harmony with nature. Another one was using asymmetry and imperfection as part of the design philosophy. So not everything has to be perfect. It's okay to be imperfect. Another philosophy is mindful contemplation. We shared a little bit about borrowed scenery from nature and miniaturization. Let's see. where does this go? This goes right here. Aha. Now I see. Now I see. Now I see. Now I see. Ta-da! So miniaturization, seasonal awareness, natural materials. Oh, here we go. Walking and chewing gum at the same time. Right? Yep. Yep. And then ambiance or music. And again, as I said, that there is a whole philosophy around music within Tranquil Gardens. I messed this up already. There we go. There we go. So we have 1, 2, 3. We'll top that off with some leafy greens. How does that fit into our base? Well, there's a ball socket here at the bottom. We're going to find one of our clipping points here. Click that into place. 1 down, 3 more to go. I think I'm going to build, if you don't mind, I'm going to build. And that way I can also focus and move this along quicker. So if you have something to do, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But come back. Come back. Come back. Ta-da. All right. Now we're going to add a couple more of these, like this one here. We have one more. There we go. Back again. Bamboo. Done. And last but not least, the Hinoki plant. So, various philosophies, creating harmony with nature, asymmetry and imperfection, mindful contemplation, borrowed scenery, miniaturization, seasonal awareness, and natural materials. So tranquil gardens are influenced by the principles emphasizing simplicity, meditation, harmony, and the pursuit of inner peace. So if I may ask, and I'll put this out there for the chat comments, what influences you? How do you find or seek those various principles of simplicity, meditation, harmony, and that pursuit of inner peace? Leave a comment down below. I would be very interested to hear your thoughts. And different ways that you are able to find your tranquility in carving out a little space for yourself in the midst of the regular everyday grind. Life moves pretty fast. if you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you may miss something. And two. I was watching a documentary about John Hughes. And if you grew up in the 70s or 80s, that name might ring a bell. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club. He was a director, writer, producer. And many of the movies that are found in today's nostalgia were kind of groundbreaking at the time. Let's see, does that go here? It certainly does. We're going to put that there. Imperfection. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh. Almost done. Where can I put this to reflect? That doesn't go that way, does it? Oh, I got it backwards. Blind guy driving the bus. There we go. Okay. Base 2, 3, 4. There it is. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's move our Tranquil garden closer back into here. Nice going, Todd. Piece of bamboo. So where should we put the pine tree? Let's put the pine tree here. And that's the neat thing, is the designers have incorporated these square boxes. So you can move these trees around in different places as you see fit, and part of that active participation. So it's not set in there or locked in. It can be moved around. So we're going to place this one back here. And then we'll go put our bamboo. Where's our bamboo? Here we go. I think this looks a little too symmetrical. So let's add this element here. Put this back on here. And we'll put our bamboo then we have our pagoda. Place our pagoda here. Next to the walking path, like so. And then our Hinoki. Maybe that's a Japanese maple. Folks, there it is. I'm going to give this a little bit of a spin around here so you can see it from different angles. Hopefully the camera will pick this up. You know, working through this set, as I said in the beginning, is probably one of my favorite all-time Lego builds, because not only is it interesting and diverse and dynamic, but it incorporates different philosophies that I can mirror and have mirrored in my career as a safety specialist. So I find that very interesting. Ooh, cherry blossom. There we go. So working through this amazing set, doing the research and the design philosophies, the building principles, you know, a few steps at a time, I came away with a better understanding of self, of myself. Building this set reminds me about building a safety program. And that parallels building with Lego. You start by recognizing a need. Define the process, the procedures. What needs to happen to be compliant? What are the hazards that are present that must be addressed so that every worker can go home at the end of the day with all their parts and pieces intact? So recognizing the need. And much like Lego, you want to build a tranquil garden. You feel the need, you know, to express some energy and creativeness. So then you set a goal. And what's the outcome? What do you want to achieve in that analysis? To keep safe, to reduce waste, to increase profit, reduce cost. Then you assemble your resources. What are the parts and the pieces and the people that are needed to make this happen? All this is done before one actual action is taken. So write things down. Get together with people. Bounce ideas off each other. Get a fresh pair of eyes to come in and say, is this worth doing? And is it worth doing well? So then you create a flexible plan. But it should be goal focused. It can't be a roller coaster. It should have a focused goal and a plan. Then you work the plan. Then you get started. Work the plan with the purpose, right? You instruct, you test, you review, and you modify. Because nothing is perfect the very first time. It takes trial and error. It might take incorporating, as I said, a third party to come in. And then overcoming the adversities, because at some point in your process, you're going to run into obstacles or roadblocks. So how do you overcome that adversity and turning it into learning and then action? We also, and this is one I find difficult, I think most people find difficult, is accepting change. The excuse of, that's the way we've always done it, doesn't work anymore. That's ancient history. Accepting change and understanding why the change is happening, how it's going to affect the work environment and the safety of those workers. That can be very difficult for many people that are resistant to change. It's not something where it's easy to do. Also, don't give up. Don't give up when you are trying something new. It's okay to fail. And sometimes it takes failing repeatedly in different ways in order for the results to be clear. Now, when I say fail, that doesn't mean accidents or fatalities. Keeping workplace safety in mind goes back to ensuring the job gets done on time and under budget, with the execution of every step in place so that employees can go home safely with all their parts and pieces intact. And lastly, understanding and explaining the why. Doing something just for safety's sake or compliance sake isn't enough, but understanding the why is so important in building your safety program, in building a Lego set, in building a plans for vacation, or building a little league soccer round robin tournament. So in closing, as we finish up this amazing set, there's a garden somewhere out there created just for you. In the ever-changing culture of our workplace, finding balance between what we have to do versus what we want to do involves using our training and watching out for each other. Because we're all in this together. Like it or not, we are saving the world one accident at a time. My name is Todd, your personal certified workplace safety specialist and philosopher and adult fan of Lego. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through a tranquil garden. Oh, I was going to tell you about my next build. It is a very unique set from a series that I have not tried before. Have you ever heard of Minecraft? I've heard about it, but I have not played it. And this particular set is called the Fox Lodge. And that will be our next construction project and build. Probably used as an experimental ASMR, but I'm looking forward to this. Should be quite interesting. I want to thank my friends for sending this set to me as a gift. I wish you all very well and wealth and safety and wholeness with you and your family. Texas has been hit pretty severely recently with some storms. My friends are okay, but others have fallen on some tough times. So if there's a way you can contribute back not only to your neighborhood, but maybe to another, again, you're helping somebody out. And that makes the world a better place. So until next time, again, thank you so much for joining me. I wish you safe travels and happy building.